would like to welcome our viewers from the United States and around the world. Welcome to Media to Africa. My name is Marshall Tiano. This is Diasporama. Hello, dear viewer, and welcome to Media to Africa. This is your boy, Marshall Tiano, and today is June 9. So today we will be talking about one of the greatest events in the African diaspora within the United States. Is, of course, the African Award of Washington that will be coming to its 7th edition on Friday, November 25th, 2022. Once again, dear viewer, thank you for staying connected to your numerical TV, Media to Africa. So today we'll be talking about African Award of Washington 2022 roadmap. And to talk about this, I have two guests. The first one, he's my boss actually, and he will be joining us through web from Germantown. He is a journalist. His name is Mr. Honoré Fomocon. Thank you, Mr. Honoré, for your time, and thank you to accept our invitation at Media to Africa.
Oh, thank you, Marshall. Thank you, dear televiewers. It's a pleasure to be again here at Media de Africa. You said that you are boss. We are our bosses together in one way, somewhere I'm your boss. In another way, another place, you are my boss. So I will just say that it's a pleasure to be here and to talk about this edition of African Award of Washington. Only God knows where we are coming from with African Award of Washington. I will just try to ask to all our technicians to make sure all people in the DMV and all over the world are watching this program. So please, guys, you guys who are watching, you who are already online, share the link, please, because we have many good announcements to do today. Tonight, there are many things that we're going to talk about this edition because we have been preparing it since many months, and we have new things that people will see. Thank you, Marshall.
Thank you, dear Honoré. We know how busy you are, and again, thank you. It's my pleasure having you into this program show tonight. Another guest is the director of production of African Award of Washington. Is Mr. Duclos Chatat. Thank you, Mr. Duclos, for having you into this great studio of Media to Africa.
Oh, thank you, Marshall, and thank you for having me here tonight to talk about the African Award of Washington, D.C., especially the 7th edition.
Thank you, guys. Hey, dear viewer, as you know, this is the greatest event of the African diaspora in the U.S., and it's coming up on Friday, November 25th, 2022. That's a Friday. That's Thanksgiving Friday. As you know, last year we hosted the event at Africabana Cultural Center where we had about 600 guests. Unfortunately, the hall was not big enough for to accommodate all the guests, so we have some that could not actually fit in, so they have to leave the venue because it's not because we sold more tickets than expected, but if you have been following us, it was because we have to switch the hall at the last minute. And the director of operation, Mr. Duclos Chatat, hopefully that will not happen this year.
Yeah, it's not going to happen this year because we listened to our guests. You know, there was a lot of complaint, like you mentioned at the beginning. There was a lot of complaint about people who came to the event and could not come in. So we have to manage ourselves. But the first thing I want to do is to apologize for those guests who did not make it to the event that day. And also I just want to apologize for, you know, because a lot of people know that we always have an event on Saturday. But this year, you know, due to the fact that, you know, the hall that we went to talk, the hall that we held for this event, The Saturday was not available, so we have to manage ourselves to do it on Friday. So I just want to apologize for those people who was waiting the event on Saturday to kind of manage themselves to be on Friday.
Yeah, but why specifically that hall? Because I mean, I'm sure that there was some other hall that was available on Saturday. Why did you stick to that hall? Is there a reason?
Yeah, it was a reason. It was a reason behind, because we have our meeting and it was a lot of complaint about a lot of things. The first complaint that people was making about it was the capacity of the hall. That was
Right.
the first thing that we put it down, and also we want to bring something different. Remember, people was complaining about the type of drink that we was presenting to them, we was offering to them. So now we move to the next step, and also during the meeting we mentioned that we should allow people to have some food. So the package this year is not is something different. So people is going to have an open bar. We're going to serve dinner that night, and also the capacity of the hall is going to hold like 1,500 people like we used to have. So we agree with them to go on with 1,000 people, even though we are expecting to have 1,500 people on that hall.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Duclos. Mr. Honore, you are the Director of Communication of African Award of Washington, and we are seeing this event coming up in grand style. I mean, I know that you have been working at the back end behind the scene to make this event a great event. So, I mean, what type of event should we expect this year for the 7th anniversary of African Award of Washington?
What we call in French BCBG just means that bon chic bon genre. It means that this event will be an unforgettable event. This event will be marvelous. I can assure you that people who will come in that hall, and it's the first time we will have such an event in that hall. That hall, many people of our community will discover that hall on with this event. So I will just try to let them know that we have many new things. Things are changed. We have revolutions about our way to do. Even the category, we have choose some category that are very important. We have narrow everything. We don't want people to leave the hall without sadness. So we want them happy. We want all of you to be on time. We want all of you to be there. We want all of you to participate in the voting process. We want all of you to participate from the day we will launch the event for this year, because we will launch it soon. In few weeks, we will make a great announcement. We have many things who will be happening before the big day, before the event in himself. And right now, we are working in the background, as you said. We are also working with officials, not only Cameroonians, officials from different countries in Africa, officials from America. And for this year, people will not come in the hall and leave without food, without drink. Like we have open bar. Open bar, it just means that you will drink whatever you want and the quantity that. So it is a VIP event. We just ask to all of you guys to grab your ticket and come to that event. You will not regret. You will not be unsatisfied on that day.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Honore. What was the real reason behind switching from? We know that AWA has been hosting in those traditional halls, and this time around, it looked like you guys are upscaling the event by going to Martin Crosswind, which is one of the most beautiful hall around the DMV area. Was there a reason? What was the motivation behind that decision at the organization level?
La motivation est simple. Hein? Nous avons décidé de mettre la barre un peu plus haute. On va crescendo. Et nous voulons, au bout de quelques années, atteindre l'une des meilleures salles du DMV. Ça, je peux vous assurer. pourquoi pas se retrouver même à MGM? C'est ce que nous voulons. Nous avons pour objectif d'aller crescendo, d'occuper la plus grande salle du DMV avec le temps. Et donc, au fur et à mesure que nous avançons, on trouve mieux, une salle mieux disante que celle qu'on a utilisée l'année d'avant. On y va avec celle-là. Donc, c'est tout simplement cela. Il est question de mettre tous nos invités à l'aise et c'est un événement sold out, comme on dit. Ça voudrait dire que si votre ticket demande que vous devez être à la place numéro 4, vous arriverez à la place numéro 4, vous vous asseyez et vous avez tout le package que nous vous offrons. Le package va être là sans discuter. Alors, vous l'avez dit vous-même au départ, on s'est retrouvé l'année dernière en train de délocaliser l'événement à la dernière minute pour se retrouver dans une salle où des gens, à un moment donné, ne se sont pas sentis tellement à l'aise parce que l'événement ayant été couru, il y avait tellement de monde, c'est-à-dire l'offre avait été moins que la demande. OK, donc la demande avait dépassé l'offre. Alors nous avons décidé de ne plus se retrouver dans ce type de situation. On préfère prendre une salle un peu plus vaste, comme celle de 5000 places, qui nous garantit près de 5000 places quand on était du côté de Tacoma, et une salle qu'on a perdue, et vous avez eu les raisons. So, GS Televiewer, it's just that we have decided to make sure all of you guys who will come that day will be at the right place, will be seated, and people will be taking care of you. So we have decided to go to upgrade, as we used to say, because we start this event in a hall in Gino Drive. After Gino Drive, we had another hall in Tacoma. That hall was almost 5,000 people, but we lost that hall. Last year we explained, we said we let you know why we lost that hall. After that, we decided to go to another hall that was by Lanham, but finally, by the end of the day, because of COVID, we went to Africabana, and some people wasn't happy just because there were more people than what we have offered, and nous ne pouvions pas refuser aux gens de venir à cet événement, et tout simplement parce que c'est l'événement des événements dans le DMV. Our event is the best, is the most, the event that people are waiting for. People are coming from Europe, people are coming from Asia, people are coming from everywhere, from Africa, for this event. So this year we have decided to find another hall who can contain more than 2,000 people, and that is why we decide to go to Crosswind, who is not a hall that you have African people there every time. So we have decided to upgrade, and just because we want you guys to be good, we want you guys to be well treated, we want you guys to be happy, we want you guys to leave the event with a lot of satisfaction.
Thank you, Mr. Honore. Guys, as you can notice, this is a bilingual program, so we will be switching from French to English without you noticing. So, this is a bilingual program. So, Mr. Duclos, we are talking that much about the hall, but we all know that the hall might be the greatest hall on the earth, but if the event is not organized, we will be having the same issue. So at the back end, what are the preparation coming? What are we doing to make sure that all those complaints from the previous edition will not be happening at this edition?
Yes, Marisha, first of all, I just want to mention that we usually start our meeting at the end of the last event. Right. So, and also the first thing that we usually do is to listen all the complaints. And one of the complaints was the capacity of the hall. I think I gave you more information about that. Et également, la seconde chose que nous faisons, c'est de regarder les manquements que nous avons eus pendant la dernière édition. Et je pense que la team qui est avec moi et qui m'accompagne ce soir va suffisamment élucider là-dessus. Je veux prendre par exemple un cas. On a eu des cas par exemple au niveau de la consommation de la boisson. Et ça a été rectifié parce que nous avons été très très fermes à la dernière réunion avec l'équipe de Martin Cross. Nous avons également présenté l'ensemble de nos doléances et puis je pense qu'ils sont en train également de travailler là-dessus. Également, l'une des complaintes qu'on a eues, c'était au niveau du repas. Les gens se sont plaints que le matin, arriver aux awards et ne pas manger parce qu'on avait notre façon de voir les awards qu'on voulait imposer au public africain, mais également, on a cette façon d'accommoder la clientèle aux
Getting
besoins.
feedback from the customer.
Tout à fait.
Right.
Donc, on a eu ce feedback et puis on s'est dit, OK, on va apporter le repas lors de la soirée.
So you're guaranteeing all the viewers that this year the event dinner will be served and it will be free open bar, meaning that you will have food and you drink as much as you can.
Yes, and that's a condition that we put on the table with Martin Cross, and they allowed everything was set up. Like, you pay your ticket, the moment you are in the hall, you can go at the bar as much as you can.
Okay, thank you again, Mr. Duclos. At some point, I would like our producer, Mr. Lati, to play the video introductive of that Martin Crosswick Hall so that our viewer can take notice and see exactly, because as we are talking, most of our people doesn't know what type of hall it is, where is it located, how does it look like. So guys, I'm guaranteeing you that it's one of the beautiful hall in the DMV area. That's why it's not that popular in our community, because first of all, to go there, you need to put more money down. It costs. But when you get there, we have like 300 red carpet before you get red carpet space before you get into the hall. Let us watch the video and we will come back.
Les événements se suivent mais ne se ressemblent pas. Ça, vous le savez déjà. La 7e édition des Awards africains de Washington, l'événement le plus prestigieux de la diaspora africaine aux États-Unis, aura lieu le vendredi 25 novembre 2022 à l'illustre salle du Martins, Crowin et Greenbelt. Adresse 7400 Greenway Center, Dr. Greenbelt, MD 20770. Cette cérémonie récompense les meilleurs acteurs de la diaspora à travers le monde chaque année dans diverses catégories. Prenez déjà le rendez-vous pour le 25 novembre 2022. Contact réservation 240 970 2368 240 386 7867 240 486 8661 571 471 6851. Ne vous faites surtout pas raconter cet événement, venez le vivre.
Yes, it's not common. I also want to mention that it was not easy for us to get that apple, and we have to pay 70% to get it all. So, because they was asking us, they was not sure that we're gonna bring those people, because they don't want to do the event here and the hall is empty. Because in order to get that hall, you have to bring at least 500 people.
Right.
So you guys can imagine the effort that we have behind to get that event, and we already pay 1,000 for the people to come in. So
all right. So Mr. Honoré, before we move on to talk about the 2022 African Award of Washington category, you just watched the video and you know you've been into that hall for different event, and now you're the one booking it for your own event. What is your feeling? What is the take-in for now?
Wow. You can see that I'm trying to find words, but they are not coming. But I will just ask to people, I will just ask to all our televiewers, to all people who are planning to be at that event, to come, and they will not regret. And even those who have in their mind that they will not come at that event, I think that is not a good decision. The best decision that you can have for your Thanksgiving weekend is to come to that event. Is to come there, because only the hall, you will say, wow. And beside the hall, we will have a lot of cameramen, photographers. It means that it's an event where you should be, what we said in French, dans ton transit. Ladies.
Mr. Director, not to cut you short, you know, last year there was some lady that was complaining that there was no space for them to showcase their dresses. So
Okay.
this year, the issue is resolved because we have much space.
Sure. So, ladies, it is time for you now to make sure to have your dress ready for that event, because only the pictures that you will have in that hall, only the decoration, only the view from cameras, you will be, I will just say, wow. So, to summarize, I'm bluffing. I am bluffing. When we have decided to go to that hall, and when we have decided that we will not only uh, let people watch the event, watch the award ceremony, and dance, and watch showcase musician that we will have, but we will also serve food, and not any food. We will also serve drinks. It's an open bar, and the food is not a food made somewhere in an apartment, in a townhouse or in a single house. No, it's a food from the people
From the
who
qualified chef.
own that hall, from the chef, and
Qualified
a
chef.
real chef. It means that with your ticket, you have your plate of food. You will not go there and decide for what you're going to eat or no, because you will just sit there and they will come and take care of you. It will not be like you can come and then you don't have a food, because we have the number of the places that you have paid are coming with the number of plates of food for that day. That's what I can tell you. Ladies, gentlemen, please prepare yourself. A lot of surprise that night. A lot of musicians who will play live. And the category, we will talk about category, you will realize that we have choose categories who really impact people in Africa community. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Duclos, yes, you wanted to mention something.
Je voulais mentionner quelque chose que vous avez mentionné tout à l'heure, parce que ça fait partie d'une des raisons de décision, parce que on avait besoin d'une salle qui devait permettre aux dames de pouvoir exhiber leurs vêtements. Et c'est pour ça que ça fait partie d'une des résolutions. Également, on avait besoin d'une salle au niveau de la hauteur. La salle devait être très, très grande. Parce qu'on s'est rendu compte que, et si vous regardez dans nos vidéos, on avait commandé un écran très grand, mais on s'est revu en train de réduire parce qu'il n'y avait pas suffisamment de hauteur. Et également, les dames se sont plaintes qu'elles ne pouvaient pas exhiber leur robe. Donc, on a pris une salle où, dès que vous arrivez à l'entrée, vous avez suffisamment de temps, vous avez une marge très grande pour pouvoir marcher et exhiber votre robe avant de pouvoir vous asseoir. Voilà aussi deux informations que je voulais ajouter sur les raisons pour lesquelles on a choisi cette salle.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Duclos. After talking about where the event will be hosted this year, let us talk about the 2022 category, and I will invite our producer, Mr. Lati, to play the video as we're going to start commenting, giving criteria about which category have been selected for 2022, and the criteria to be one of the nominees. So definitely it's not, I mean, unfortunately, right, our team cannot nominate everybody, all the people. We have pre-selected people that fit into the criteria, and definitely we're going to share those criteria with you in advance, so that when the nominee list come out, you don't ask yourself, or you don't keep asking us based on what you have selected, take these people. So I will ask our producer if he can please bring up those nominee criteria, so that with Mr. Director of Communication and Mr. Director of Operation, we can together discuss and share those with the public.
Audio Jungle.
Thank you, Mr. Lati, for that video talking about category and the criteria for nominee. So we'll be bringing one category after each other, and we'll be commenting and discussing why are the criteria. And again, we want everybody to be aware that this is a decision made by the organization committee plus our 2022 jury. So we really want you to share this information with whoever need it, because the problem that happen usually, Mr. Duclos, Mr. Honoré, is that our nominee or our guests even, they are not, they don't have the right information sometimes, and they keep coming back and say, no, the winner is supposed to be so and so, the winner is supposed to be blah blah blah, just because they did not understood what are the criteria. So please, let's bring back those categories so that we can discuss about the criteria, Mr. Lati. Okay, that's the first category, Best African Airline. This is a brand new category, and I would like to start with you, Mr. Honoré, to talk about the Best African Airline nomination criteria. Mr. Honoré.
Yeah, first of all, we will say that it's a new category. It's the first time that we have this category in our African Award of Washington. This category, we saw that like this, the last edition and the edition before the last one, we had a sponsoring from one African airline, and then we decided that, oh, it means that these people, they can be interested of what we are doing. And we also realized that many people right now are travel, and it is our duty to promote Africans companies, because we have many companies. It doesn't mean that the other companies are not doing a good job, but we are from Africa and we are African of Washington. We have many airline company who are coming here in US. You have Ethiopian Airlines is coming here, Royal Air Maroc is coming here, Kenya Airways, I think Kenya Airways is still coming here, Egypt Air. There are many African company, African airline company who are coming here in the US, and so many African people are travel with those companies, and that is why we have decided that we will have a category like that. So one of the main criteria is that this company should be owned by an African, and it's a company who has a lot of who travel around Africa, who a
We
company
have a
that many
headquarters.
who has headquarters in Africa, a company who is owned by an African, and who has at least one or two flights per week uh, coming from Africa to
To the
US.
United States.
So
To or
we have
from.
decided to have this category. It's the first time that we have this category on board, and I can assure you that we have sent the letters to the companies that have been nominated, and how have they have been nominated? You just said it, Marshall. Our jury and our expert committee uh, just go through these criteria and contact those companies, and that is why we have among our nominees right now we have Ethiopian Airline. Beside Ethiopian Airline, we have Morocco Airlines, Senegal Airline, and Egypt Air, who are companies who deserve dans des compagnies qui desservent l'Amérique, quoi. C'est-à-dire qui ont des voyages par week-end, par semaine, autant pour moi, ont au moins un ou deux voyages en direction de l'Amérique venant de l'Afrique. Et donc, on a décidé donc que ces compagnies doivent être mises en compétition, tout simplement parce que c'est une catégorie qui, par le passé, n'était pas parmi les catégories que nous avions en compétition, mais parce qu'on s'est rendu compte qu'elles s'intéressent. Surtout qu'on a eu Ethiopian Airlines comme sponsor des années antérieures, mais ça ne voudrait pas dire que ce sera une affaire de délit d'initié. Donc, aujourd'hui, nous avons décidé de mettre les compagnies en compétition. Quelle est la meilleure compagnie aérienne africaine selon les Africains qui, pour bon nombre, voyagent sur ces compagnies? Personnellement, je voyage sur des compagnies africaines et je sais que bon nombre d'entre vous aussi voyagent sur des compagnies africaines. Et pour cette raison, on aimerait simplement désigner quelle est la meilleure compagnie et pourquoi elle est meilleure. Il y a l'accueil du personnel au sol et le traitement qui est fait par le personnel navigant. Donc, je veux dire les hôtesses, les stewards et la manière avec laquelle même les réservations se font, la manière avec laquelle les vols sont menés, est-ce qu'on arrive à l'heure, si on a dit 8 heures, est-ce que on décolle à 8 heures, et ainsi de suite. Donc, voilà autant de choses qui vont être regardées. Alors, tout reviendra au jury. Donc, c'est ce que je peux dire par rapport à cette catégorie de Best African Airline. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Honoré. So the takeout for Best African Airline is the most criteria. It must be owned by an African and have a headquarters in Africa, plus the last one, have at least one flight from or to the United States. So let's go, Mr. Lati, for the second category, which is Best African Community Leader. Mr. Duclos.
Yes, the first thing I want to mention here is our vision. Because, you know, a lot of people are lagging behind without knowing our vision. So I just want to let you guys know that our vision here is to create an atmosphere of excellence in the African community. And you guys are going to see that, you know, we always think about those people who are impacting, you know, and also the distinction for the African community achievement around the world. You know, those people who are promoting, empowering, and also celebrating achievement and business leader and entrepreneurship and humanitarian work. So that's that's the most reason that every time that we want to bring a category out, we are thinking if the category is going to impact the African community. And you guys read about the category that we was talking before.
African Airline?
African Airline, you have to be owned by an African, and also the flight. So we want to make sure that, you know, there is a flight coming from the United States or from Africa to the United States. So now let me talk about the best African community leader. The first thing is you have to live in the United States of America to be, and also what you are doing for the community should impact, especially the African community. Even though you can have an impact with other with other community. So those two ideas, we think, based on our vision, you guys are going to impact the community. So that's why we bring out that category as a best African United, best African community leader.
All right. I mean, the takeout for best African community leader, dear viewer, is that you must be living in the United States, must be, of course, an African,
Okay.
and
An African.
you must have impacted your community, of course, because. But Mr. Honore, I want to ask you a question about this because I know what question might be coming next is that we have some people who are really impacted community at some point, but for some reason their community gets split and they are the person to be killed. Maybe because they have done a great job and they are building, some people are building jealousy against them, or they are just, he just become the haters person. So, I mean, how will the organization committee work around those type of person? Because the person might really be a great person, but at some point, he starts being hated by his own community.
Donc, vous savez que l'homme en douane est divers. L'homme en douane est divers. Ça voudrait simplement dire que des êtres humains que nous sommes, on peut attendre tout. On souffre le chaud et le froid. Bon, maintenant, nous travaillons sans état d'âme au niveau des Africains à Washington, sans état d'âme. Que vous ayez l'appui, que vous soyez détesté ou aimé par votre communauté, tant que vous remplissez les critères qui sont les nôtres, les critères qui ont été arrêtés par le comité d'experts des Africains à Washington, et que vous êtes nominé, il n'y a pas de problème. Maintenant, comme je l'ai dit, la condition humaine est ce qu'elle est. Le plus souvent, ça vient d'où on s'attend le moins. Ça vient souvent d'où on s'attend le moins. On vous dit souvent que mieux vaut d'avoir un ennemi déclaré que d'avoir un ami qui cache son jeu. C'est-à-dire, quand vous savez que tel est mon ennemi et il est déclaré en tant que mon ennemi, vous vivez avec lui sans problème. Chacun prend ses marques. Mais c'est dangereux qu'au lieu d'avoir cet ennemi déclaré, vous ayez plutôt un ami. Et un ami qui cache son jeu, soyez sûr que c'est plus dangereux qu'un ennemi déclaré. Donc, on vous dit qu'on ne peut pas changer l'être humain, on ne peut pas changer l'Africain. Bon, ce serait un peu réducteur que je dise Africain simplement, mais l'être humain en général. L'être humain ainsi fait, c'est la condition humaine. On va simplement faire avec. Oui, on va beau faire ce qu'on va pouvoir faire, on ne va pas être aimé par tous. That is true, Maréchal. Some people are just, some people upside there are just like, why him? Why him? Why not me? They are not looking like emulation. They're just looking like envy. So they just want to be at the place of another person without work. But we in our committee, we are not looking all that. We have our criteria, and our criteria are only the aspect that we will look, and we have nominated people only regarding those criteria. That's what I can answer to this question, Maréchal.
Thank you, Mr. Honoré.
Maréchal, je voudrais augmenter quelque chose à l'endroit de ce que Honoré a dit. Nous, on fait des critères de sélection. Maintenant, être sélectionné ne veut pas dire que vous avez gagné les awards. Vous avez gagné les awards parce que...
Oui, mais déjà, même au niveau des sélections, il y a déjà des critiques aussi. Hein?
Oui, je suis parfaitement d'accord. Et je pense que Honoré a assez bien élucidé ça. Donc, il y a les critères de sélection. Les gens peuvent se plaindre, mais nous respectons que le carnaval du travail que nous avons défini. Et puis, nous restons dans ce carnaval. La même chose, une fois qu'on va publier les conditions de participation ou alors de vote, que ce soit de la part des jurys, que ce soit de la part des internautes, ça crée toujours un problème. Mais nous restons toujours dans le carnaval de ce que nous avons défini. Et donc voilà un peu ce que je voulais augmenter.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to the next category, the third one with the African Award of Washington 2022 is Best African Embassy. Mr. Honoré, it's still your turn now. Mr. Honoré?
Best African Embassy, we have decided that countries who have a diplomatic mission in the US, that is one of the criteria. Country embassy who will respond to our letters, those are the are you getting me?
I'm
Am I
getting you,
audible?
definitely. I'm getting you, yeah.
Okay, so I was just saying that first of all, it should be an African country.
Of course, yes.
Second, uh, African country, but with an embassy in US. Thirdly, you have to respond to our pre-nomination letter, because there are some embassy to whom we have sending letters, they are not responding. And guess what? Sometime in the voting process, those embassy who haven't responded to the letters are even in front of those who have responded to the letter. So the committee, the expert committee has decided that if you do not respond to our pre-nomination letter, it means that you are not interested by what we are doing. So, first, an African country. Second, have a diplomatic mission in the US. Third, respond to our pre-nomination letter.
Thank you.
I think
I mean, yeah,
those
I
are
would
the
like to,
three.
I would like, sorry to
Yes.
interrupt. Yeah, I wanted to emphasize, on that second criteria, which is responding to our pre-nomination letter. You know, Africa have about 52 countries, and we can nominate all those, but we do not have a mean of working with all those. We are not there yet because we still have room to grow. And for now, usually we select about between 5 to 8 countries that we work with. And those countries that we select are the first one who have replied to our letter. Like now, actually now, I mean, I'm sure that some of the embassy personnel might be watching Media to Africa, and they know that we have sent letter to your email. We are not even just sending letter, we are calling. We are calling to inform you about the event. Some of them are not picking up. The email is failing. So what should we do? The only thing we can do is the embassy that reply to us. If we cannot reach you through email, and we call you and you say, okay, let us book an appointment for you guys to come and explain. We are very open for that. So definitely, we don't want the viewer or our guests to come and start asking us, why not Ethiopia? Why not Cameroon? Why not Nigeria? It's only because when we send letter out, usually we send about 30 letter or 40 even to those embassy. The first one to come in, that's what we work with. That's something that I wanted to emphasize. Let's move on to the next category, please. Okay, we are waiting on the producer to bring up the next category. It's Best African Young Entrepreneur. Mr. Duclos, it's your turn.
Yeah, for a young entrepreneur, you have to be a legal business owner, and also you have to employ at least 3 people. So those 3 important criteria that you have to be nominated. Okay, and also basically you have to live in the United States, but what we are looking here on this category is just 2 elements. Again, another thing we try to look, how you impact the community, how you empower others as a young entrepreneur.
Yeah, Mr. Honore, I'll ask you because you're part of the team. I mean, when we say legal business, that's one of our viewer questions. What does that mean to be legal business in the United States? Did you hear me, Mr. Honore? It looks like you are on mute. I'm not sure. I can hear you. Can you hear me? No, I can't hear you. Sorry, we can hear Mr. Honore. So, Yeah. What can we say when we what do we mean legal business?
When we talk about legal business, it's a business with a register.
A registered business.
A registered business in the United
Okay, with the
States.
state.
Yeah, with the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also meaning that you have you have all the official paper to run a business here in the United States, and also all those employees you have to make we're gonna make sure that you really pay them, you really
Of course,
register those,
we can check out the payroll, employee payroll, and so on.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we wanted that to be clear in everybody's head that when we say legal business, we mean a registered business. Each business in the United States must be registered within the state where they're operating.
Yeah, because we found out there is a lot of young entrepreneurs out there. They pretend to have a business, but when we go deeper, we find out the business is not registered. We don't want people to run a business without pay taxes, all that stuff, right? So that's one of the reasons we want people to be legal, because also ourselves, we are legal.
Right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Duclos. Let's move on to the next category. The next category is coming up, and definitely, hopefully, we have Honoré back. If you can hear me, Mr. Honoré, say something to cross-check with me. Yeah, still not? Yeah, no, we already went through Best African Young Entrepreneur, so the following one is Best African Female Artist. Yeah, as we are waiting on Honoré, Mr. Duclos is still going to be your
yes,
turn.
for the female artists, because before it was a best female international artist, right?
All right.
And we read our vision, and we found out it was not it was not really fit our vision, because those international was out of the United States. So we decided to only stay in the United States with those artists who really impact and empower others. So for this category, you have to release at least five songs. And our team, they're gonna.
Oh, I'm there.
Okay, thank you for coming back, Mr. Honoré. Let us finish with Duclos on Best African Female Artist.
So the first thing that we're gonna check is those songs that you release on the different platforms. So we want at least 5 songs. And the second thing is to check the accessibility on the digital, because we're going to check all the digital platforms, kind of make sure that people can listen to those songs that you release in order to be nominated on that category.
All right, thank you so much. Let us move on to the next category. And since Mr. Honoré is back, it's going to be his turn. The next category is Best African Hair Braiding Salon. Mr. Honoré, it's over to you.
Oh, thank you, Marshal. First of all, I will apologize to you guys, to Marshal and to Duclos and to our televiewer. You have to respect our televiewer. I will just apologize because I have spoken. I was on mute. We don't notice that I was on mute. So I have spoken. You guys wasn't understand what I was talking about. So I really apologize for that. We have to respect you guys. We have to respect the presenter. We have to respect our co-panelists, and we have to respect our televiewer. And this is another thing to show to people that, to you guys televiewers, that what we are doing is what we call in French le bénévolat. It's because we like it. I was speaking in mute because I went on mute for a few seconds just to respond to my boss. It means that all of us in our committee, we have our jobs, but we have to sacrifice our jobs sometime just to come and do because we want this entertainment. We want to promote Africans who are doing things in their own, each person in his sector. So now we are talking about Best African Hair Braiding Salon. We have decided to bring back this category. This category wasn't there, I think, for 1 or 2 years, but we have decided to come back with this category just because you ladies are very beautiful upside there, and people who are participate to your beautifulness are these owners of hair braiding salon. So these braiders, they are participating on your beauty, and all of you know that African ladies are the best beautiful ladies in the world. All over the world, we know that with their morphology, with their own way to think, with their culture, there are many of them are very respectful. So we have decided to recognize these ladies who are participating on your beauties, and that is why we have decided this year to come back with this category. And the nomination criteria are: you have to be legally registered in the US. That's the first thing. Legally registered in the US. So your business will be a well-known business. Your business will not be in your basement or somewhere else. Even if in your business and it's legal, that is good. Second, you have to have a physical salon. Oh, so your physical salon can be in your basement, but if it's a physical salon, that is very important, because our jury will come in your salon. Our jury will come spend some hours with you and see how many people are visiting your salon, and see how you are treating people who are coming in your salon, and see how you are doing what you know to do. It means braiding. So, and this salon should be owned by an African, and you can you like, we need some reference, because we have many African salons, and to our pre-nomination list has almost 10 salons that people are suggesting to us. But now we're going to narrow to have like 5 or 6, and it will come from these references, from these suggestions. So that is how this category will work, Mr. Marshall.
Thank you, Mr. Honore. So the takeout for Best African Hair Braiding, you have to be a legal registered business, have a physical salon, or by an African, and definitely provide 5 references. I would like to emphasize on that category. I want our viewer to understand that the African Award of Washington is a special type of award where we do not only recognize musician, actor, and actress. We have a lot of other people working within our community, yeah. And that exactly what was the brain behind the scene that brought us to say that let us organize a special type of recognition to recognize our own people within the African diaspora. Please, next category. Best African Hair Braiding Salon. We spoke about it already. So what's the next? Best African Humanitarian Group. Mr. Duclos, this is one of the categories that almost killed someone last year. So I don't know how you guys going to handle this category this year. Say something, and we'll have Mr. Honore complete what you say.
Yes, like you say, this category always bring a lot of trouble to us, but you know, we always stand up because we want those distinction for African community achievement. You know, those people who really impact our community. We're gonna, you know, bring them on board. So for this year, it's very important, and the fact that we are bringing those criteria down, you know, is to avoid any bad thought behind, right? So now, one thing that is very important, you have to be a non-profit. You have to be a non-profit organization, meaning this year we're gonna check and make sure that you have your 501c status.
Okay.
So those people who don't have our 501c status, even though they keep saying that they are non-profit organization, you guys are not gonna come on board this year, because you know we find ourselves with a lot of trouble because we want to, you know, sometimes bypass our own policy, and we get in trouble. We get and also we're gonna digging to the proof of charity, especially in the United States, because we're gonna check on the United States first, because you know we have African who live in the United States, and also we can dig overseas, and those things is very important, and also we really want to see the impact of that non-profit organization in the African community. Because remember, we want to recognize our own community, which is African. So we really want to see that impact. Those people who have the non-profit organization between a family member and friend, please, this year is not going to be the same, right? Because we're gonna dig on those criteria to be nominated. Even though we can find a mistake that somebody get nominated, but the moment that we're going to dig on those criteria and you don't fit those criteria, we're going to kick you out.
Thank you, dear viewer. Best African Humanitarian Group, non-profit with 501c, proof of charity, and impact in African community. Just to remember that it might be here in the US or back home in Africa, wherever, in Haiti, in Mexico, or wherever, impacting the community around you. So let's move on to the next category. Best African Makeup Artist. Mr. Honoré, Best African Makeup Artist. This is another new category. Best African Makeup Artist. Mr. Honoré, what do you have to say about the criteria?
Sure, I will just say that makeup artist is a new category, and we have decided to bring this category on board just because today the world is we are talking about mondialization. We are talking about a big village. The world is a big village. It means that social medias are all over the world. A person can be here at moment ish speaking with another person far away from here. And in this social media, you have TikTok, you have Instagram, you have Facebook, and there are many competition about makeups in this social media. And you have a lot of series now, you have a lot of web series, you have a lot of movies, and makeup specialists are people who are taking care of many people, many actors who are in social media.
Yeah,
So
I can add that they definitely have a talent, good talent that we can promote.
So we have decided that why we only promoting people that we can see and forget people who are in the background and forget people who are behind the scene, because makeup artists are behind the scene.
Even me
and that is
before
why
we came into this studio, we had some makeup.
Sure, and you will never see the person who made you that makeup in front. They are behind the scene. So African Award of Washington have decided that we should bring them at the light. We should bring them in front, because one of our credo is to promote African people who are improving in what they are doing. So that is why we have decided that as criteria, you should be a makeup artist. That's the first thing. You have to be a makeup artist. Secondly, you can provide like 5 references, people that you have taken care. And thirdly, you should be a makeup artist, a licensed makeup artist. Because we don't want people to come again behind us and say that you guys have go there, you guys have given the trophy to your brothers, to your sister, and what is totally wrong, because we are not giving trophy, we are not giving award. A jury is giving award. It's not the committee, the organizing committee who is giving the award. Jury is giving the award. So the jury now will decide among the makeup artists who are licensed first, who are able to give like 5 reference, and who usually help people to be well present in television, in social media. So that is what we have decided to get.
Mr. Duclos, I hope, according to what Mr. Honore is saying, that we are not going to have a bad loser this year, because we always have bad loser. And it looked like you have something to say about
but
best African makeup artist.
yeah, but Marisha, we always have a bad loser, so there is nothing we can do about it. But I just want to bring a story behind the best African makeup artist, because you guys know when we finished the last edition, we have a meeting, and where there was a lot of complaint about some woman who was saying that, you know, why you guys don't recognize the makeup artist? And we asked ourselves, you know, really? And because a lot of women will say, oh, before I came to the event, I have to see my makeup artist. He did that to me. He did that to me. So why not you guys don't recognize? So that was one of the reasons. And also,
so that was a response to a call.
The response to a call. And also, in this year, it's just an announcement. This year, we're going to have a makeup artist at the hotel. For those women, they're going to book the hotel. They're going to have a makeup artist to take care of you before you guys come to the event.
Wow. So we're going to have a free makeup artist at our village to take care of you before you get into the beautiful extravaganza Martin Crosswheel Hall. Next category, please, Mr. Producer Jules Camfoot. Best African male artist. Mr. Honore, it's your turn.
Best African male artist. Almost the same criteria as best African female artist. The only thing that I can add beside the criteria that Duclos have already given here, or has already given here, are you have to be an artist who has released at least 5 songs, and all your songs or most of your songs will be accessible on digital media, and you have to be an African artist living in US. And I want just to emphasize that this is a good category. You guys, if you have an idea of an artist, you can also suggest the artist to our expert committee. But it's true that we have already done the pre-nomination, but we're still in the pre-nomination. We can still pre-nominate artists, and it is our own way. It is our own way to promote young artists, because we have decided to not have again in competition international artists. We have decided to not have again in competition artists who already have a name. We want to have what we call in French les jeunes talents.
Right.
Back many years away, when we were living again in Africa, in my country, there in the national television, without publicity, there was one program they were calling Star and Air. So it's something like that we want to do here. So artists who are finding their way, we are here to help them to go through the way, to go where, to take that way and become two, like P Square, and become like Tufan, and become like Elvis Camayo, and become like Pierre Chakunte. So that is why we always have these well-known artists to come and just entertain people in our event. That's why we said we will have a lot of surprise. We already have Henri Gikonge, Pierre Chakunte, and beside the CEO of African Airlines Washington has produced many other artists here, Petit Pays, Jacob Desvarieux, Père son âme, Charlotte Jipanda, Coco Argenté, Lady Ponce. So those are well-known artists. They are not in competition. We have decided this year to not put the well-known artists in competition, only young artists who are finding their way. That's what I can talk about this category.
Thank you, Mr. Honore. Mr. Duclos, you was emphasizing the difference between best African male artists, female artists, and best African international. So, meaning that we want to emphasize on that all those artists nominated this year must be living in the United States.
Yes, all those artists must living in the United States. If you guys just come to the United States to release a song and go back to Africa,
You are not qualified.
you're not qualified. You
All
have
right,
to
yeah.
live in the United States to be qualified.
All right, so let's move to the next category. As we are coming to the break, I will be asking our producer to get the video of the Philadelphia event ready. That's Best African Market Store. Wow. That's another new category, Mr. Duclos.
Yes, that's another new category that we'll bring on board. We found out a lot of African do shopping in the African market.
Right.
And we ask ourselves, why not just promote those? Why just promote those people? Because they really impact our community. Because one time I have a story with a legal business owner who have to travel all the way back to Africa to find some food that African here eat. So that one of and we decide to bring that category on board. And in order to be nominated again, you have to be a legal business. And also, the business have to be owned by an African, because there is a lot of African markets that are not owned by African.
Yeah.
So we don't want to nominate them. Mm-hmm. And also, you have to sell African goodies, article, grocery, everything that you're selling. We're going to check and make sure that they are coming from Africa. So we really want to to have an African store will really impact our community. We already do things that really impact African who live in the United States. So those three criteria we think is very important, to be nominated as a best African market store.
Okay, Best African Market Store is one of the latest one. It's the first time this category is coming up in the award nominee. This might be one of the troublemaker this year, because I know how devoted are those store owners, and definitely when we will be reaching out to them to say, hey, you have been nominated. Everybody would like to win. But again, it's not just about winning, it's about promoting who you are and promoting our own people. Next category, please, Mr. Lati. We already spoke about the Best African Market Store. So, Best African Restaurant now. Oh, we are talking about food here. Mr. Honore.
That's a comeback.
It's a comeback.
Best African restaurant. This category is a comeback category. And you remember this category, there were a lot of talk about this category, because I remember the last year that we have this category on board. The winner was Swahili.
Swahili restaurant, yes.
No, it wasn't about this category. The category who was a lot of talk about food was the category where Jimmy Sawyer won, and
that was
this guy
home cooking business.
Home cooking business. Okay, Jimmy Sawyer won, and this guy, I forget his name. He wasn't happy. Tabaiseme wasn't happy. Okay, yeah. So, Best African Restaurant. This category is coming back just because we have decided to promote Africans, and it's another business where you have many Africans, and we have to recognize those Africans, and we have to make sure we have only legal restaurant, and that's why we have decided to not do again with the African best home cooking business. So we are dealing only with restaurants who which are legal, and there are many African restaurants outside there cooking food from different countries. So you have to be a legal business registered, and you have to have dishes from different countries: Cameroon, Benin, Togo, Gabon, everywhere in Africa, Cote d'Ivoire, and the restaurant has to be owned by an African. So we need uh, restaurants who which are owned by Africa and which serve African food, especially African food. Uh, I think that is the three most important criteria for this category.
Thank you, Mr. Honore. As you was mentioning, I was earlier saying, talking about the bad loser. And this is something that, as you say, Mr. Duclos, we cannot avoid, right? Every year they are bad loser. When they come, they expect to win, and when they don't win. And again, that's why we want to communicate with our nominee to show them that it's not only about winning. Even when you become a nominee, that's a plus for your business because we are not taking a dime. You are not paying to be nominated. It's always free. It has been free for the 7 past year. Maybe at some point people will pay, but it's still free. So enjoy as it is free for now. We are not asking nobody a dime. So please, next category, Mr. Lati. Best African sapper. Mr. Duclos, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Are you a sapper?
So
A
for the
returning
Best African
category.
Supper, there is a renovation here. There is a renovation because before we was, you can dress anywhere. We can follow up on the digital platform.
Yes, sapper is a French word, right? So
Yeah.
what does that mean really for those who doesn't speak French?
Sapper is someone who dress, we can
Dress to impress.
we
Would
dress-
like to
yes.
feel himself
Yeah.
like,
Everywhere that you go, his color is going to be different. The way he dress, the way to walk is going to be different, right? So that's the best African supper. But on this year, we change. We kind of change because we want to promote on this category. We especially want to promote how African people dress to impress. So meaning we want to see those people who kind of use African dress all the time to go to the party, to go out at work everywhere. But those people who dress to impress, but in the African attire. So
Okay.
that's the criteria for this
Yeah,
category.
so dear viewer, dear nominee, this year around is not about European suit, it's not about European attire. You must be somebody who would like to dress in African attire. And again, somebody was already asking me a question, which is normal, about is it somebody which is dressed at the event or how. This is just a question that I will ask you and Mr. Honore. It's a basic question. How would you guys select those nominees? Is it based on the picture? Is it based on what you have seen in the community, going in those community outing like party? Or
Okay.
I don't know.
I
Mr.
will-
Honore, you can go ahead or Duclos.
Yeah,
the-
I will start.
How
Duclos will,
will those nominees be selected?
I will
I'm
start.
the-
I
the
will
first-
start.
the
Duclos
first-
will continue.
Yeah,
I will start. Duclos will continue.
go ahead.
We are preparing our for each edition. We prepare our for 1 year.
Right.
So we cannot have a category who will wait the day of the event.
Okay.
So it's on 1 year. There are many African events in our community, in African community. No longer than last week, Mr. President Marshall, you were at, that was June 4th, I think, at an African event
Right.
somewhere here without publicity in Capital High, right? So
Right,
there are
right.
many African events in our African community. I think it is a process. You have a jury. A jury is not only a jury who will work that day. So the jury is observing, and we are waiting people to suggest nominee. You suggest a nominee, and you tell us why you have decided. That's why, for instance, for this category, we just say must be dressed in Africa attire, and it means that a member of our jury can see you 2, 3, 4, 5 events, and if a person suggests your name, you can be one of the nominee. That's the first thing. And secondly, I think if all the nominees, because we will have meetings with them. I think that day we will even ask them, even if they want to be in European suit, but at the moment that we will talk about this category, we will ask them maybe to go and change to be in African attire that day. I think that is one way on which we can deal with this. That's one thing. The other way on which we can deal with this is that we can only say that, okay, it will be only the day of the event. So I think our televiewer can even help us. Eh? We are waiting their input. I think with their input, we can decide together to what to do with that category. But I think either way should be good. But according to me, Honoré, is that we should do it for 1 year because we are preparing our for 1 year. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you, Mr. Honore. I mean, that's exactly what we should be doing, because remember, Mr. Honore, we cannot do it the day of the event, because remember, the day of the event, we have the best supper of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, that one is not taken away.
Yeah.
The best supper of the day is still going to be there, and the best African supper of the year also is going to be something different. So, Mr. Dupo, you say you have something to add on?
Yeah, I just want to add something that Honore said, that we prepare the category through the year, before and during the year. We went to a different community. We went to a Senegalese community, Morocco, Benin. We also went to a Cameroonian community. We found out, you know, there's a lot of people who get dressed in African achieve, and also there is a people who really dress to impress as an African achieve. So we have a lot of picture on our platform, on our different platform, and also we're gonna follow. When the moment we're gonna get those names, we're gonna follow them through the different parties they're gonna go through, and we're gonna also check our backend, our database. You know, those pictures that we have from them, you know, how they dress. And also, remember, we also have a meet the nominee. It's going to be an opportunity for them to come express their dress. And I just want to give you guys a clue that it's not just dress to impress, but also the culture behind how you're going to express, you know.
History behind the dress.
Thank you, Marshall. The history that you have, the history behind your dress, the representation of the culture that you are bringing out, because we're going to have a media nominee, so we can give that opportunity for those nominated to present themselves.
Showcase.
So it's not just the picture that we're going to have on our internet or those parties that we went and see them. Now there is other things that the jury are going to ask you to meet the nominee. So just be prepared and, you know, dress to impress.
Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for watching Diasporama on Media 2 Africa. My name is Marichel Tiano, and today we are talking about the 2022 African Award of Washington roadmap. So we will be taking a break, but before that, I would like to do this announcement about the first ever African American interim fair and Cameroonian cultural fundraising that will be happening in Philadelphia from June 14 through June 18, with this gala night on Saturday, June 18, with the keynote speaker that will be one of our big journalist brother, Henry Dikonge will be there, Ange Banya, our journalist,
Bruno Chani.
Bruno Tanyo will be there. I mean, we have so many important Cameroonians that will be working in collaboration with Philadelphia City to build a Cameroonian city hall in Philadelphia. So, and then in July 2nd, we'll be having the event, the first event ever, Konsamba Gala Night, a double event on Saturday, July 2nd, with one of the damn artists. I don't want to pronounce the name here now because it's still a secret. And then Sunday with a unique barbecue. So it's two events in one. Saturday, July 2nd, for the gala night. Please get your ticket. We have the important phone number scrolling down on our screen. And Sunday for the barbecue. We're going to take a break and come right after the break, please.
Cette cérémonie récompense les meilleurs acteurs de la diaspora. Les événements se suivent mais ne se ressemblent pas. Ça, vous le savez déjà. La 7e édition des Awards africains de Washington, l'événement le plus prestigieux de la diaspora africaine aux États-Unis, aura lieu le vendredi 25 novembre 2022 à l'illustre salle du Martins, Corwin et Greenbelt. Adresse 7400 Greenway Center, Dr. Greenbelt, MD 20770. Cette cérémonie récompense les meilleurs acteurs de la diaspora à travers le monde chaque année dans diverses catégories. Prenez déjà le rendez-vous pour le 25 novembre 2022. Contact réservation 240 970 2368 240 386 7867 240 486 8661 571 471 6851. Ne vous faites surtout pas raconter cet événement. Venez le vivre.
Merci à la technique avec cette catégorie de African Award. J'avais également annoncé le spot de cet événement cet événement de African American Interim Fair des Camerounais. Cette soirée de gala des Camerounais de Philadelphie qui aura lieu le samedi 18 juin. À se clôturer ce jour avec une grande soirée de gala où vont participer Eric Tindie qui sera le guest speaker et également Henri Dikongue, la méga star qui sera là avec Ange Biania, Jean Prignotagne qui viendront tous du Cameroun et puis ma modeste personne Maréchal Tiano en compagnie de Gwendoline qui seront à la présentation de cet événement. Prenez déjà le rendez-vous pour le samedi 18 du côté de la Philadelphie. On va continuer ici avec les catégories et plus clôturées parce que nous sommes déjà presque à la fin de notre émission. Le temps imparti par la direction de Médias de Afrique nous est presque imparti déjà et déjà presque consommé. Et nous allons très rapidement parcourir les dernières séries de catégories qui restent. On y va pour la prochaine catégorie. Let's go.
Je crois qu'elles sont finies.
No, elles ne sont pas finies. We got you. We still have Best African Student. Mr. Honore, it's your turn.
Best African Student has always been one of our joker a joke category, because with this category we are working with schools. I think we have worked with college, we have worked with high school, and finally, this year we have to decide if it will be another college or a high school or a university. But the criteria, as you know, they are never changed. Best GPA, good attendance in school. But this year we have add one criteria, which is good communication skill. It means that the best African student will also, we will give him like 2 or 3 minutes at the event to to speak, to say something to the hall, to stand in front of almost 1,000 people and speak. And
Right.
how did we choose this best African student? It's not a category that we need to have like vote or this or no. No. When we decide that we're gonna go with this high school, we just go. We go to the high school. We see the officials of the high school. We see the principal. We see the principal, the counselors, every people who are taking care, people who are ruling that high school. And if it's a college, we do the same. We even remember at the second edition of our in our hall, the president, yes, the president of Prince George Community College was represented in our hall. It means that it's not a category. We are not joking with this category. We are decided about a best African from the principal and the official of different school. For this year, we have not decided yet if it will be a college or a, a high school. So that one I can talk about this category. It's not like a voting category, no. Though this category, we get the winner from a school that we have decided to work with it each year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Honore. As you guys noticed, dear viewer, the best African student is one of our consistent category that will be coming each and every year till the end. I mean, there is not going to be an end because our dream really is to keep promoting our own talent. When we watch the Grammy Award or the BET Award, they are celebrating the 71st anniversary or the 83 anniversary, respectively. They started slowly, just like what we are doing now. And guess what? We are not sure we are going to be there tomorrow to keep it to keep on going, but it's a tradition. So we want to transfer this character to our kids to keep celebrating our own talent. Please, next category, Mr. Lati. All right. That was that was the last category. As Mr. Ore say, I thought it was finished. So this is the last category, and definitely I would like to come up with a breaking news at this event. This is the African Award ticket. Is definitely available. It's your passport. It's an African passport. Not sure if you can watch it. You can see it from where you are. So make sure that you have your passport. Yes, it's there with the visa. This is your ticket to bring you to the event. It's African passport. The seat is $150, and we give you right to unlimited drink. You have free food, unlimited drink, good entertainment. So $150 is a VIP, and that's everybody is VIP at that event. I would like again to thank Mr. Honore, Mr. Duclos for participating at this event. But I will start with you, Mr. Honore. Thank you for your time. What can we take out from this edition of June 9, 2022, when we are talking about
No, you can
format?
no, you can be sure that if you want to continue to speak about our, we can go until tomorrow evening. But since we have the constraints of time, thank you so much to for this program. One more time, I'm going to apologize to televiewer and to you guys because around 10:30 I was a little bit off because, as I told you, I have to run something concerning my job. It means that dear televiewer, you guys can should be grateful for what we are doing for the community, what we have been doing for almost 7 years now, beside our job. And our is a full-time job, I can tell you. It's a full-time job because we start, as soon as we finish with this edition, we start the next one the day after. And there are every week meetings. Myself, I was a little bit behind about the meeting, but I have to apologize to the team. It means that we need people, we need you guys from different country to come and join the team because it's about Africa. It's not about only us. It's about all Africa. Come and join the team. The team is open. We need people to come and join the team so we can do it together. To finish, I will just say thank you to the viewer to have given us your time. Even those who wasn't there, we will share. I know some people will take their time, maybe tomorrow or during the weekend, to watch exactly what we have done today. I will just say thanks to those who will watch later, and thanks to people who were there. Thanks, Marshall, to have inviting me to this panel. If it's about our every time, I will be there. Thank you, Duclos, to have shared the panel with me. Good night. Thank you for all.
Thank you. Definitely, you know, Mr. Honore will be needing you'll be needed again soon to talk about the African Award. As you know, we have many TV show coming up along the way to talk about this event. Again, Mr. Duclos, you've been here into the studio with me. You have already ticket with you. You can show it to the televiewer, and definitely those who are ready to get their ticket, please, you can contact Media to Africa, Mr. Honore, Mr. Duclos, me, Jules Kamfudlati, the producer, to book your seat. And guess what? We bring out the tickets 6 months or 5 months before the event to avoid last minute. So if you are a last minute person, you are not going to have a seat. And you know how, when we say it from the beginning, it seemed like a joke. It seemed like a joke, but actually, as we get close to the event, you really realize that if you come that day, it's either you'll be sitting at the back end or you might not even have a seat. You know how we do it. Mr. Duclos, your end ball.
Yes, for my end ball, I just want to say thank you for Media de Africa for giving us the opportunity to launch our category tonight. And also, I just want to say thank you for the team at Martin Crosswind, because we are doing a phenomenal meeting with them. You know, they're kind of on the top of the game. You know, I'm kind of let people know that it's not going to be a joke. If you guys don't have a ticket in advance, you know, don't blame us, because we pay for 1,000 seats, but we are planning to probably move to 1,500. But at the moment that we're going to sell all those 1,500 tickets, we can go forward. And also, I just want to say thank you for the team award. We are doing a phenomenal job, because it's not that easy. We do a meeting every week, because we want to make sure that, you know, every single complaint that we receive from the previous edition have been addressed. And also, I just want to say thank you, you guys. Thank you for those people who are watching us tonight, and I think you guys receive from us all the information. Like Marisha said, the ticket is out, so just call us and grab your ticket. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Duclos, and thank you to the great award team. As you are saying, I'm thinking about those who are not here with us, but they have been doing great job as well. I'm thinking about Miss Kama Ebron, which is our public relation. I'm thinking about Lily Happy, which is our treasurer. I'm thinking about Nelly Chachuk, which is our social person, and also Mr. Weneso Christian, who is not here tonight, but which is a really devoted person to work, and he is always available to do whatever it takes to make the African Award moving. I can't say much about you, Mr. Duclos, Mr. Honore, Jules Kamfudlati. I hope I'm not forgetting. I'm forgetting. Yes, I do. I'm forgetting Mr. Phil.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You know, Phil is always behind the scene, and we keep forgetting Mr. Philote Jofa, which is, I mean, those are great members of African Award of Washington team. I mean, we always give you big event, not only because of those faces that you are familiar of. We really have people working behind the scene. And I would like to thank all those that have been there for a year from the beginning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And tonight production team, I would like to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Our cameraman tonight was, of course, you know his name already, Mr. Alain Chamo. The light engineer is one of our students that came from University of Maryland and is getting trained. Her name is Sylvia Williams. She's just there smiling at me. Hey, Sylvia, how you doing? Our producer tonight, is, of course, is Jules Kafulati, the director of production, Mr. Honore Formocon, director of formation is Dr. Jean-Marie Watonsi. My humble self name is Mr. Maréchal Tiano, l'homme à la voix chromée, aromatisé et métallisé. See you next Thursday at 9 p.m. Ciao.